Ferrari just uncovered a terrifying truth about their brand new Formula One car. And it happened on the very first day of testing. Two drivers, same car, completely different results. Charles Leclerc looked fast. Lewis Hamilton could barely control it. The data didn't just raise questions. It triggered panic inside the garage. Engineers stayed late into the night. Simulations were restarted from zero because what the SF-26 revealed in Bahrain was a hidden instability that no one expected. And now, Ferrari might be forced to choose between their two drivers before the season even begins. But it gets worse, because if they make the wrong choice, this entire project, could collapse before the first race. Subscribe now, because what we're about to show you explains why every team is watching Ferrari, and why inside the paddock, the tension is already boiling over. It started like a normal test. Sunny skies, warm air, clean track. Ferrari rolled out the SF-26 with confidence. The car looked planted, sharp, controlled. Charles Leclerc went out in the afternoon and started hitting lap times that raised eyebrows. Pace on the C3 compound, top 3 easily. His onboards looked smooth. Turn 11, turn 13. Aggressive, stable, efficient. The numbers coming back to the garage told one story. This car had speed. But in the morning session, the exact same car told a very different story. Because when Lewis Hamilton took the wheel earlier that day, the SF-26 looked unpredictable. It understeered on entry, snapped on exit. He fought the car through nearly every corner. And it showed, not just on the stopwatch, but in the way he had to drive. Hamilton was using a rare overlap technique, brake and throttle together, just to keep the rear end from stepping out. That's not normal. That's not confidence. That's survival. So what changed between morning and afternoon? One adjustment. Ferrari stiffened the rear stabilizer bars during lunch. On paper, a minor change. In practice, it created two completely different cars. Leclerc immediately found a comfort zone. He rotated the car mid-corner with ease, controlled the rear with the throttle. He made it work. But here's where the tension begins. Because while Charles looked fast, the data also showed something dangerous. Every time he attacked the curbs, the car lost rear stability. The airflow over the diffuser detached. Downforce collapsed. Grip vanished. And that's when the engineers realized the SF-26 only works in a very narrow window. It's not flexible. It's not forgiving. It's brilliant when you get it right, but brutal when you step outside the line. That's why Hamilton struggled. His natural style. Late braking. High entry speed. Sharp turn in. He wasn't in the window. The car didn't respond. And now Ferrari is facing a massive problem. Because two world-class drivers gave the same feedback. Medium speed and stability. But they want two completely different solutions. Hamilton wants more front-end bite. Leclerc wants to manage it himself, from the rear. So what happens next? Ferrari has to decide. Do you tune the car around one driver? Or try to split the difference? Because doing both almost never works. And inside the garage, you could already feel the pressure building. One setup was working, the other wasn't. And the driver who was struggling was Lewis Hamilton, the most high-profile signing in the team's modern history. And he's already asking tough questions. That's not just tension. That's a warning. What do you do when both of your drivers are right? That's exactly where Ferrari finds itself after day one. The SF-26 works, but only sometimes. Only for one driver at a time. And the scariest part? It's not a hardware issue. It's a personality clash baked into the car. Charles Leclerc thrives in chaos. He doesn't need perfect grip. He'll dance the rear through corners, use the throttle like a scalpel, and adapt on instinct. He's driven loose Ferraris before. He knows how to survive them. But Lewis Hamilton? He built his legacy on control, on confidence under braking, on stability mid-corner. He doesn't want to drive around problems. He wants the car to trust him, to respond exactly when he asks for it. And the SF-26 doesn't know who to listen to. Leclerc's style masks the instability. Hamilton's style exposes it. And now, the engineering team is split. Some argue for a more aggressive front end, more mechanical grip, more Hamilton influence. Others want to stick with the Leclerc setup window. Tighter, stiffer, more reactive from the rear. And here's the problem. You can't do both. Because every change you make for Lewis takes the car away from Charles. And every tweak that helps Charles pushes the car further away from what Lewis needs. This isn't just a setup divergence. It's a strategic fork in the road. And day one of testing just forced Ferrari to pick a path before they were ready. Internally, engineers are working overnight to create a hybrid setup. One that blends Leclerc's rotation control with Hamilton's demand for front-end precision. But the question is that even possible? Because the numbers don't lie. The SF-26 is aerodynamically sensitive. The new diffuser creates huge downforce, but only when ride height and pitch are perfect. The moment the platform shifts, you lose rear grip. It's peak performance, with zero forgiveness. And that's exactly the kind of platform that works for one driver and destroys another. If Ferrari keeps pushing this upgrade package without softening the edge, they may alienate Hamilton. If they backtrack the design to help Lewis, they lose the characteristics that Charles used to look fast in Bahrain. This isn't about ego. It's physics. And now, it's politics. Because in every technical meeting from now on, every ride height adjustment, every suspension curve, every software update will quietly answer one question: who is this car really for? And whatever Ferrari decides next will define their season. But here's the twist. Lewis already knows how this game works. And what he's doing now is something nobody expected. Most drivers would complain. They'd point fingers at the car, blame the balance, or quietly demand the team build around them. But Lewis Hamilton, he's doing the opposite. He's adapting, silently, deliberately, and fast. While the engineers were debating setup, while social media was spinning theories, Lewis was studying data. Not his own, Charles Leclerc's. He asked for throttle traces, brake overlays, steering inputs through Sector 2. He wanted to see what made the car work for Charles, so he could make it work for himself. That's not normal behavior. That's not ego. That's strategy. Because Lewis knows how Formula One works. You don't win the garage by shouting louder. You win it by proving you can extract more. And that's exactly what he's planning to do. Sources inside the team confirmed it. Hamilton is already testing different corner entry techniques, changing how he rolls off the brake, adjusting how early he gets on throttle. He's borrowing Leclerc's style, not permanently, but just enough to beat him in his own window. And if he does, that changes everything. Because right now, Charles has the upper hand. The car feels built for him. The balance favors his rhythm. But the moment Lewis starts matching his sector times, with the same setup, with the same limitations, the internal power dynamic flips. Suddenly, the question isn't, how do we help Hamilton? It becomes, do we need Leclerc's style at all? And that is how power shifts inside a Formula One team. Not with declarations, not with team orders, but with quiet performance, 1/10 at a time. And Lewis, he's played this game before, with Rosberg, with Bottas, with Vettel. He knows how to pressure a teammate without ever saying a word. Just be faster, more consistent, more composed under stress. And right now, the stress is building, because everyone at Ferrari knows the moment Hamilton beats Leclerc in race pace, with his setup, the team will start listening to Lewis first. And if that happens, Leclerc loses the one advantage he still has. But there's a reason Charles isn't backing down, because he knows something the others don't. There's a deeper issue inside this car that no one is talking about yet. Something hidden in the way the diffuser and suspension interact under load. Something that even Hamilton hasn't felt yet. And that secret, the SF-26 looks fast. It sounds fast. But what's happening underneath is anything but stable. Because while engineers were celebrating the new diffuser and praising the downforce numbers on paper, the car on track was telling a different story. There's a reason Hamilton struggled in the morning. There's a reason Leclerc lost control over the curbs. It all comes down to one thing: aero sensitivity. Ferrari's new diffuser is aggressive. Its kick line is steep. Its expansion geometry is designed to extract as much airflow as possible from under the floor. And when it works, the car sticks. It grips through the corners. It punches out of slow exits like a rocket. But here's the catch. It only works if the platform is perfectly stable. If the ride height changes, if the pitch angle shifts, if the car rolls even slightly under load, the airflow breaks, the downforce collapses, and the rear becomes unpredictable. That's exactly what happened to Leclerc when he attacked the curbs. And to Hamilton, the moment he pushed the rear on corner exit. They both felt it, but from two different angles. Leclerc managed it, Hamilton exposed it, and now the engineers are facing a brutal truth. They've built a car that delivers peak performance, but only within the narrowest of margins. Outside that window, the SF-26 is fragile. That fragility is already forcing Ferrari to walk a tightrope. They can't afford to raise the ride height. They'll lose diffuser efficiency, but they also can't keep it this low, because any bump, any curb, any high-speed yaw triggers instability. It's not just risky, it's unsustainable. And this is where the real danger begins. Because to fix this, Ferrari has two options. Option 1, redesign the floor mid-season. Rebuild the diffuser. Rebalance the platform. That means millions in development cost. It means time lost, momentum gone. Option 2, commit to the current design and hope the drivers can live with it. Push through the twitchiness. Survive the dynamic instability. But that option only works for one driver, Leclerc, because this platform suits his instincts. It allows him to rotate the car with throttle, to dance on the edge of adhesion. But Hamilton needs trust, needs feedback, needs consistency under braking. And this car doesn't give it to him. Not yet. So now Ferrari faces a choice far bigger than setup. They have to decide who the SF-26 is really built for. Because every aero upgrade from this point forward will double down on the philosophy behind this diffuser. And if they commit to it, they're committing to Charles. Not with words, not with press releases, but with carbon fiber, with CFD hours, with wind tunnel allocation. And that will not go unnoticed by Hamilton, by the garage, or by the rest of the grid. Because the moment Ferrari picks a direction, there's no going back.